Hello, my amazing learners, and welcome back to the Wisdom English podcast. My name is Sarah, and I'm so happy that you are here with me today. We are going to talk about something really important, a word that many people hear often but don't always understand. Procrastination. If you've ever felt like learning English is too hard, or that you have a big goal but can't find the energy to start, then this episode is just for you. Procrastination is that feeling of delaying or putting things off. You know you should do something now, but you wait, you waste time, or you do something easier instead. And when we do this too much, it can make our lives more stressful. But here's the good news. You can overcome it. And make sure you stay with me until the very end, because I'll reveal the simple secret that is the true key to beating procrastination for good. First, let's begin by understanding what procrastination really means. The word might sound long and difficult, but its meaning is actually very simple. Procrastination means waiting to do something important. It means you know you need to do a task, but you keep saying to yourself, I will do it later. Instead of doing the task now, you choose to do something else that is easier or more fun. In simple words, procrastination means delaying your work or avoiding a task that you should be doing right now. It's important to understand that procrastination is more than just being lazy. Many people think that if someone is not doing their work, they must be lazy. But this is not always true. In fact, many people who procrastinate are smart, hardworking, and full of wonderful ideas. But something stops them. That something is often inside their own mind. It's not about being lazy. It's about feeling stuck. Let me give you a few examples from everyday life. Imagine you have some important homework to do, but instead of starting it, you say to yourself, I'm a little tired. I will do it after 1 hour. Then, after that hour has passed, you still don't start and you say, maybe I'll do it tonight. But in the end, you either don't do it at all or you rush to finish it at the last minute. That is procrastination. Or maybe you want to clean your room. But you pick up your phone and start watching videos. You say, just one video, but then you watch 5, and then 10. Your room stays messy, and you end up feeling bad about it. That is also procrastination. Another common example, you want to start exercising or go for a walk. But instead, you sit on the sofa and watch TV. You tell yourself, I'll start tomorrow, but then tomorrow becomes the next day, and then the next week. That's what procrastination looks like. We all procrastinate sometimes. It is a very normal human experience. Everyone does it. Students, workers, even teachers and parents. It's not because we are lazy or bad people. Usually we procrastinate because a task feels hard, boring, or uncomfortable. Sometimes we are afraid that we won't do it well, so we wait and wait, avoiding the possibility of failure. Other times, we just don't feel motivated. We say, I don't feel like doing this right now. Our brain, which is wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain, chooses something easier. Something that gives us quick pleasure, like checking our phone, watching videos, or chatting with friends. These activities feel good for a short time, but they don't help us finish our important goals. Procrastination can affect our daily life in many ways. When we delay tasks, we often feel more stressed later. For example, if you don't study for an exam early, you feel immense pressure the night before. If you don't start your project on time, you have to rush to finish it, and the quality is not good. This makes you feel tired and unhappy. Also, when we procrastinate often, we start to lose confidence in ourselves. We might start to believe negative things like, I can't finish anything, or I'm always late. This can affect our self-esteem and our mental health. Over time, procrastination becomes a habit, and habits can be hard to break. But here is the good news. You can change this. You can learn how to stop procrastinating and start doing things step by step. It doesn't have to be difficult. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to understand what procrastination is and why it happens. Once you know the reason, you can learn the tools to fight it and build better habits. So now you know, procrastination does not mean you are a bad person. It does not mean you are lazy. It means you are human. But the good news is, you can train your mind, you can build new habits, and you can take control again. And when you do, you will feel proud, you will feel free, and you will see your goals getting closer. Now that we understand what procrastination is, let's talk about why we do it. Why do we wait to do important things? When we understand the reasons behind our procrastination, we can start to change our behavior. One of the most common reasons is the fear of failure. Many people don't start a task because they are secretly afraid that they will not do it well. For example, imagine you have to write an essay in English. You sit down, you look at the blank paper, and your mind starts to fill with negative thoughts. What if I make mistakes? What if my grammar is bad? What if the teacher doesn't like it? These thoughts make you feel nervous and anxious. So instead of starting the essay, you close the book and say, I'll do it tomorrow. You are not being lazy, you are scared. You are afraid of doing a bad job, so you avoid the task altogether. This fear of failure is a big reason why many people procrastinate. Another very common reason is boredom. Sometimes the task just feels boring. It doesn't excite you. Maybe you need to read a long, dry article for class, or clean your entire room. It's not necessarily difficult, but it's not fun either. So, your brain, which is always looking for something more interesting, says, let's check our phone instead. Let's watch a video. In these moments, your brain chooses short-term pleasure and ignores the long-term work. This is called instant gratification, which means we want to feel good now, not later. That's why boring but important tasks often stay undone. A lack of motivation is also a very common reason. Motivation is the desire or energy to do something. Sometimes we know what we need to do, but we just don't feel like doing it. For example, maybe you plan to go for a run in the morning, but when the alarm rings, you feel tired. You don't feel excited or ready. You say, I just don't have the energy today, and you go back to sleep. This is not because you are lazy, it's because your motivation is low. And when motivation is low, procrastination is high. Perfectionism is another hidden reason. Perfectionism is the desire to make everything perfect. You don't want to make any mistakes. You want your work to be the best. This sounds like a good quality, but it can cause serious problems. For example, imagine you want to make a video to practice your English speaking. You think, my pronunciation must be perfect, my grammar must be perfect, the lighting must be perfect. Because of this need for perfection, you never actually start. You wait and wait, trying to make everything perfect in your mind, but in the end, you do nothing at all. Perfectionism can stop progress completely. Sometimes people procrastinate simply because they are tired or overwhelmed. Maybe you have too many things to do. Your mind feels full and cluttered. You look at your to-do list and you say, I don't even know where to start. So, you don't start at all. You feel heavy and confused. This happens to students, workers, and parents all the time. When we are mentally tired, procrastination becomes much stronger. So, to sum up, we procrastinate for many reasons. We may be afraid to fail, we may feel bored, we may lack motivation, or we may be perfectionists. Sometimes, we don't manage our time well, or we just feel too tired to begin. These are all normal human feelings. You are not alone. But the good news is, once we see the problem clearly, we can begin to fix it. Now let's talk about how procrastination affects us in real life. At first, it may not seem like a big problem. We think, I'll do it later, or I still have plenty of time. But over time, procrastination can create many serious problems in different parts of our lives. First, procrastination can make school and university life much more stressful. Many students wait until the last minute to study for exams or to finish their homework. They don't start early. They think, I'll start tomorrow. But then tomorrow becomes next week. Suddenly, the deadline is very close and they feel a sense of panic. They try to do everything quickly, but the work is often not very good. They don't have enough time to review their work or correct their mistakes. This often leads to low grades and poor performance. Also, when students procrastinate a lot, they don't learn the material deeply. They just try to memorize things quickly to pass the exam. This makes it harder to remember what they studied, and it affects their long-term learning. At work, procrastination can be just as harmful. When we delay important tasks at our job, our work starts to pile up. We might miss important deadlines or have to rush through things, which affects the quality of our work. This can make our boss or our team unhappy. They may start to think that we are not responsible or reliable. If we keep procrastinating, it can seriously hurt our professional image. We might miss opportunities to grow, to get a raise, or to move to a better position. Also, when we don't manage our time well, we often feel more pressure at work. We have to stay late or take work home with us. This leads to stress and tiredness, which is not healthy for our minds or our bodies. Procrastination also affects our personal goals and dreams. Many people have big dreams for their lives. Some want to start a business, write a book, learn a new language, or get in shape. But they keep saying, I'll start next month, or I'll do it when I have more time. But time passes, and they never begin. The dream remains just a dream. This can lead to a feeling of regret later in life. People look back and say, I wish I had started earlier. Procrastination can stop you from living the life you truly want. It blocks your progress and your personal growth. There is also a significant emotional effect. When we procrastinate often, we feel guilt and stress. We know we should be doing something, but we keep avoiding it. This creates a heavy feeling in our minds. It's like carrying a heavy bag full of unfinished tasks. The longer we wait, the heavier the bag feels. This can also hurt our self-confidence. We start to believe that we are lazy or not good enough. We say to ourselves, "I can't finish anything," or "I always fail." These thoughts are not true, but procrastination can make us feel this way. In the long run, procrastination can even affect our mental and physical health. Too much stress and anxiety from unfinished work can lead to poor sleep, low energy, and even sadness. So, as you can see, procrastination is more than just a small delay. It can slowly damage many parts of our lives. But don't worry, you are not stuck. You can change this. Now, let's get to the most important part of today's podcast. How can we stop procrastinating? We know what it is, and we know how it affects us. But now, we need real, practical, solution-simple, and easy things we can do every day to change our habits. I'll share 5 very useful tips. These are not difficult. In fact, they are small steps, but they can make a big difference. The first tip is to make a small plan. When we think about a big task, we often feel scared or tired. For example, if someone tells you to learn English, it feels huge. Where do you start? What should you study? It feels like too much, so your brain says, "Let's do it later." But if you make a small plan, it feels much easier. A small plan means breaking the big task into smaller, manageable steps. Instead of saying, "I will study English today," say, "I will learn 5 new vocabulary words in the next 10 minutes. That's a small, clear, and simple goal. Your brain can say, "Yes, I can do that." When you complete one small step, you feel happy and accomplished. Then, you can do the next small step. This builds momentum and keeps you going. The second tip is to start with just 5 minutes. Yes, only 5 minutes. Many times, we wait to feel ready or motivated before we begin. But the truth is, action creates motivation. If you start a task, even for just 5 minutes, your brain gets involved. You stop overthinking and you start doing. Let's say you need to write an email or clean your desk. Just tell yourself, "I'll do it for 5 minutes only." Often after those 5 minutes are over, you'll feel like continuing. But even if you stop after 5 minutes, you have still done something. That's better than doing nothing. This is a great way to trick your brain and beat procrastination. The third tip is to remove distractions. Distractions are the small things that steal your attention. These can be your phone, social media notifications, noise from the TV, or even people talking around you. Imagine trying to study English while your phone keeps buzzing with new messages. It's very hard to focus. So, before you begin a task, take a moment to prepare your space. Turn off your notifications. Put your phone in another room. Close any apps on your computer that are not needed. If you can, find a quiet space to work or study. Removing distractions helps your brain stay focused. You will get more done in less time, and you will feel more satisfied. The fourth tip is to use rewards. Rewards give your brain something to look forward to. When you do something difficult and then get a reward, your brain learns to like the task. Let's say you finish 20 minutes of English practice. After that, give yourself a small reward. It can be a sweet snack, a short break to listen to your favorite song, or watching a fun video. This makes your brain happy and helps to build a positive habit. Over time, your brain will connect the work with good feelings. You can even create a reward system for yourself. For example, every time you finish 3 small tasks, you get a bigger reward. It's simple, but it really works. And the 5th tip is to stay consistent. This is very important. Procrastination is a habit, and to break it, we need to replace it with a new habit. That means doing small tasks every day, not just once a week. It doesn't have to be perfect. What matters is that you keep going. For example, if you practice speaking English for just 10 minutes a day, that is much better than doing nothing for 5 days and then trying to study for 2 hours on the weekend. Small and regular actions are more powerful. You don't need to be fast, you just need to be consistent. Let me give you a quick example of how all these tips can work together. Imagine you want to improve your English speaking. You make a small plan. Today, I will practice 5 new words and speak 3 sentences using them. Then, you start with just 5 minutes. You remove distractions by putting your phone away and finding a quiet spot. After you finish, you reward yourself with a cup of tea or a short, funny video. And you do the same thing the next day and the next. You don't wait to be perfect. You just stay consistent. That's how you slowly stop procrastinating and start achieving your goals. To make these concepts clearer, let me tell you a short and simple story. It's about a young man named David. David is 23 years old and studying at university. He is a smart and kind person, but he has a big problem. He always procrastinates. He has good dreams and goals. He wants to get good grades, speak better English, and find a good job after graduation. But every time he has something important to do, he delays it. For example, David had to write a big research paper for his English class. His teacher gave the topic 2 weeks before the deadline. At first, David told himself, "I have plenty of time, I'll start tomorrow." But tomorrow came, and he still didn't start. Then he said, "Maybe I'll begin next week. I just don't feel like it now." He spent his days watching videos, playing games, and scrolling on his phone. Every day, he felt a little bit of stress and guilt in his heart. He knew he had to start, but he didn't. The thought of the paper was always on his mind, but he kept doing other, easier things. Finally, the last night came. The paper was due the next morning. David had to stay up all night to finish it. He felt tired, stressed, and very unhappy. The next day, he gave the paper to his teacher, but he knew it wasn't his best work. He received a low grade. That day, David felt very disappointed in himself. He knew he could have done much better if he had just started earlier. After that experience, David decided that something had to change. He didn't want to live with that constant stress and regret anymore. He asked himself, "Why do I always wait? Why do I feel so afraid to begin?" He started watching videos about procrastination, he read some articles, and he started learning about small techniques he could use. He learned about making a small plan. So, the next time he had a big task, he broke it into little, manageable steps. For his next English assignment, instead of thinking, I need to write a full paper, he just wrote the title and the first paragraph on the first day. That was his only goal. He also started using the 5-minute rule. Every time he didn't feel like starting, he said to himself, I'll just do it for 5 minutes. Most of the time, after those 5 minutes were over, he found that he had the momentum to keep going. He turned off his phone when he was studying, and he gave himself a small reward, like listening to a favorite song, when he finished a task. Slowly, David saw a change. He felt more in control of his time and his life. He felt proud of his small accomplishments. His grades got better. He even found that he had more free time because he finished his work earlier and wasn't constantly worrying about it. His stress levels went down and he was a much happier person. David still sometimes feels the urge to procrastinate. He's human after all. But now he knows how to deal with it. He understands his mind better, and he has the tools to help him take action. He learned that even a small step is powerful. Today, David often tells his friends, don't wait to feel ready. Just start small. That's the best way to beat procrastination. Maybe you see yourself in David's story. Maybe you also wait too long and then feel bad. But please remember, change is always possible. Like David, you can learn to take small, consistent steps. You can stop procrastinating and take back your time, your goals, and your energy. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to begin. Now that we've talked about what procrastination is and how it affects our life, let's talk about daily practice. Real, lasting change happens slowly, one day at a time. You don't need to do something big or dramatic. You just need to do something small, and do it every day. If you can take a few small steps daily, you will begin to feel stronger, more focused, and more confident. So, here are 3 easy steps you can try every day. They are simple but powerful. And if you also speak them out loud in English, it will help you improve both your actions and your English at the same time. The first daily step is this. Write down just one important thing you want to do today. Not 5 things, not a big, long list. Just one important task. For example, you can write, today I will study English for 15 minutes. Or, today I will clean my desk. Keep it short and clear. Then, say it out loud. You can say, today my main goal is to study English for 15 minutes. This helps your brain understand that this is your focus for the day. When you speak it, it feels more real. It becomes a promise to yourself. This daily habit helps your mind to become more clear and organized. The second daily step is to start your task for just 5 minutes. That's all, only 5 minutes. If you want to write something, open your notebook and just write a few words. If you want to clean your room, just start with one small area. If you want to study English, listen to one short podcast or repeat a few sentences. Many times, the hardest part is just starting. But when you begin, your mind wakes up and often wants to continue. You can also say to yourself, I'm starting now. I will do this for 5 minutes. Again, Speak it out loud. Speaking helps you take action. And even if you stop after 5 minutes, it's okay. You still won. You moved forward. The third daily step is to give yourself a small reward. Yes, rewards are very important. They give your brain a feeling of success and happiness. After you finish your small task, give yourself something nice. Maybe it's a few minutes of your favorite video, a short walk outside, or just saying, "Good job" to yourself. You can say out loud, "I did it. I'm proud of myself." This may sound simple, but it builds a very strong habit. When you reward yourself, you feel good, and your brain starts to connect finishing tasks with positive feelings. That feeling makes you want to do more tomorrow. These 3 daily steps may look small, but they create big change over time. Write one task, start for 5 minutes, and reward yourself. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to try every day. And when you do these steps, use English. Speak out loud. Repeat the sentences. Say your goal. Say, "I'm starting now." Say, "I finished it." This helps you grow in 2 ways. You stop procrastinating, and you improve your English. So tomorrow morning, when you wake up, try this. Say, "Today, I will do one thing. I will start small. I will speak in English and smile." You are not only learning English, you are learning to take control of your time and your life. And that is a wonderful thing. Before we end today's episode, I want to say something very important to you. You have the power to change. Yes, you do. Even if you have been procrastinating for a long time, it does not mean you are lazy or weak. It simply means you need a better way. And now, you have that way. You have learned what procrastination is. You understand why it happens. You know how it affects your life. And most importantly, you now have real, simple steps you can use every single day. Change does not happen in one day, but change begins on the day you decide to take that first step. And maybe that first step is today. I know it can feel hard sometimes. I know it's so easy to say, "I'll start tomorrow." But you are listening to this podcast right now. That means you are already trying. That means something inside you wants to improve, to grow, and to feel better. I want you to remember that small progress is still progress. 1 minute of effort is better than 0 minutes. One small step today is better than a big plan for tomorrow that never starts. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to keep going. Every day is a new chance. You can start fresh, you can be kind to yourself, you can learn, take action, and grow stronger. Procrastination may try to stop you, but you can choose to move forward. Even when it's slow, even when it's small, your effort matters. You are building a new habit. You are building a better version of yourself. And that takes courage. You are already doing something great by listening, learning, and practicing. Also, as you continue your journey, don't forget to speak. Speak in English every day. Repeat what you hear in this podcast. Say the motivational sentences out loud. Say to yourself, "I can do it. I am improving. I am learning every day." These words are not just for your ears, they are for your heart. They will give you energy and confidence. You are not only learning how to stop procrastinating, You are also building your English skills, and that is something to be truly proud of. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I really hope this episode helped you in some way. You are not alone. Many people face this same challenge, and many people, just like you, are working to change. You are strong, and you are capable. Please remember that. Please like, share, and subscribe to the Wisdom English podcast channel to watch our next videos.